Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham News and Update show for May the 4th. Yes, it is May the 4th, Saturday, May the 4th, and we are here. No game today. There's no game. First weekend without a game, so it feels a little weird, but it's all good. Slept in about 10 minutes later than I should. My alarm went off, and I stayed in for about 10 minutes more. But, wanted to get a show up in the morning for everybody. Hope everyone is having a good day so far. Lots going on already. Huddersfield, Birmingham, and Rotherham got relegated today to come down to League One to play us. So in there, those are teams. There's some pretty big teams that the men are going to be facing next year. The second city, Birmingham, is owned by none other than, or one of the part owners is Tom Brady. Old Tommy's going to be coming to the race course to go play us next year. It's going to be pretty fun. I think John H is going to love that. So yes, but today we're gonna talk about the women's team. So going to try to get to know them a little bit more. Myself, been asked, can we cover it? And yes, we are covered because tomorrow is a big game for them. They have a Welsh Cup Final against Cardiff City, the best team in the league this year, actually. And they think they beat us 5 on the bounce. So we got a dream tomorrow, but it's unfinished business because it is a final, and it's the Welsh Cup Final. And we're going to get into it. So smash a like on the video, get involved in the chat. We will cover this a little bit, probably a quick show today, just a quick show. I know everyone's got a Saturday to get to, so want to get involved, get your memberships, and we'll have a bit of a chat about the women's side here and learn a little bit more about it as we go. Like I said, do not pay a lot of attention to the women's side. I'd like to learn a little bit more, so it's kind of a growing experience for me too. So bear with me a little bit, but we're going to get it out there. Also, Chicky Brewer is first. You are first in the chat today. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Saturday. And Joe's also in the house. Rotherham, Huddersfield, Birmingham, all relegated to League One. Yes. Best team in Wales for men's. Okay. Yeah. Best team in Wales for men's. No, that's not. I don't think that's true. But okay. So let's dive into this real quick. Let's dive into it. Also, just an update. Max is still photos of Max Clayworth are still online. He is still. There's no hangover happening yet. He's there. We know he's alive. So here we go for the men's side. Okay, and we did cover the released list yesterday, the retained list yesterday. So go back and watch that if you haven't. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it real quick. All right, this is from the Leader. Mark Griffiths has this. Actually, he's going to cover 2 Mark Griffiths articles here. One on the website will be right here. Actually, no, yeah, 2 Mark Griffiths things here, but yeah, this is it. So first Wrexham win over Cardiff would be an important milestone. Remember, we finished 3rd. Actually, let's do this real quick. Do I have? Okay, let's sum this up. So Cardiff City, Cardiff City are first, Swansea second, Wrexham were 3rd. That's how they finished the league, the Adrian Premier League this season. This is our first time in the league, so that's not bad. Although this right here, our last game was against none other than Cardiff City. I just watched the highlights and they beat us 5-1. So, dare to dream, absolutely. So let me go back here. I wanted to do this. Okay. Phil Parkinson's side have completed a magnificent season. Remember, this is in the Leader. This is the Leader. Sunday's huge Welsh Cup showdown beat between Wrexham and Cardiff is so exciting. Yes, and now it's time for the Welsh Cup. Remember, the women's team had an opportunity to end a magnificent season in style, and in the process, add to the club's glorious list of upsets. Yes, that's an upset city. Unfinished business. See it on the thumbnail. It's Rosie Hughes on there as well. You might wonder whether the team that finished 3rd. Let me put this over here. I'm trying to figure this out. Get a bit smaller. There you go. You might wonder whether the team that finished 3rd in the league beating the champions would be an upset. After all, the men went into Saturday's game against the league winner Stockport in 3rd place, and didn't they? Yes. So dare to dream, like I said. Dare to dream. This is different, and that's why Sunday's match. That's why Sunday's match at Newport is so exciting. Steve Dale's side are on a journey, and the first win over Cardiff will be an important milestone. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney made it clear that they gave great ambitions for the side, and the strides we've made are enormous. Cardiff remains first a great obstacle, but we must overcome. Sorry, still waking up here myself. So this is actually, I did look at this too, 0313031615. Sounds like a helpline, but it's actually a rather ugly sequence of results we've suffered against Cardiff City this season. Jesus H. Those results fall far short of the telling story, the whole story though. See, it gives us motivation for us to fight for tomorrow. And I hope and know we're going to do that for tomorrow in this Welsh Cup final. So, it's in the DNA. It's in the DNA. Let's see. Before the Stockport game, I was chatting about the challenge of the cup to Gemma Owen, guru, legend, and grand poobah of all around. I haven't read that in a while. Grand poobah of all around boss on the women's setup. I was thrilled to find that she agrees totally with me. We've suffered all those heavy defeats, but not one of them was as comprehensive as the defeat and the scoreline suggested. I just watched, like I said, I just watched the last one. The last one, I think it was 5-1. And the girls didn't, the women didn't give up. They fought, and Cardiff are a good side, a really good side. So, but we didn't give up. We went in. We still fought for it. The pattern of recent matches has been Cardiff struggle to find their rhythm and control possession as they force into errors in their own half. Some of those mistakes led to them conceding possession by thumping the ball clear. Others led to a turnover in their half, which presented opportunities to score. Yes, that's what happened. I looked up too. Okay, let's see here. He goes on to say, logic tells me we do have a shot. This is Griffith. We completely dominated Swansea City last time we played them, and were denied victory against them on the first day of the season by a 96th minute equalizer. This is at Swansea. We'll need to reach a new level of focus, though. We have a strong defense with outstanding individuals, which unfortunately has made mistakes which Cardiff had been able to exploit ruthlessly. That's why they're the best team in the country. This is Cardiff. We are definitely capable of defending more carefully against them, and a couple of equalizers in recent games against the Bluebirds show our character. Going behind isn't enough to phase us. We have the character to fight back. He goes on to say, however, we got a fighting chance, indeed, a much better chance than our results against the Bluebirds would suggest. Come to think of it, we're massively underfavored underdogs with 5 defeats against our opponents, none of which were by a single goal margin. The odds are long, but we have a chance. It's in the club's DNA to cause an upset. Maybe if I was a betting man, this is Mark Griffith, a Wrexham win would be exactly the gamble I'd take. So again, we have a chance to go and do our thing tomorrow, and I'm actually looking forward to see if we can do that. Like I can't watch the cup. I just tried to look on iFollow, and it's not there for some reason. Hello, Myrtleland. Hello, chat. How you doing? Good to see you. I think you're new to the chat. Nice to see you in there. The fourth club is pronounced Aberystwyth. Aberystwyth. I don't know, Joe. Aberystwyth. Oh God. Is Newport in the women's table? No, I don't think so. One second. No, I think they're not in the women's table, Joe. Okay, here we go. Another one I wanted to bring up. So before I get to the preview here, because this is the preview here that was on the website, but I want to do that first. So historic game tomorrow. Yep, we have a historic game tomorrow. Finishing our season at top flight in third place. So obviously this is the Welsh Cup Final. The Wrexham angle, Pioneer Spirit Colors journey south to contest our first Welsh Cup Final. We're the first North Walian side to reach the final since Lindundo. Jesus H. Lindundo in 2016, and hope to bring the trophy back north for the first time since 2002. Having played well, the championship phase of the season, and with a break before the final, allowing tired and injured players to recover. Manager Steve Dale has had sufficient opportunity to plot and prepare for the challenge of facing the champions. Sorry, what is wrong with me? Scorio YouTube can watch the incumbent. Okay, all right. That's for tomorrow. Ian Dudno. Okay, thank you, Raymond Blood. Appreciate that. And John is saying you can watch English with English commentary tomorrow. Okay, I'll check that out. Joe is fifth. Will Ambo is fifth. Yes. Okay, so that's the Wrexham angle there. Steve Dale says, winning the Butte Energy Welsh Cup would mean everything. There's a lot of sacrifice and hard work that's gone into us into getting to this position. We pinpointed the fact that one of the cups could be a chance for silverware for us. This is it. So it'd be great to get the cup. Vincente's in the house. How are you? Correct. Cup final tomorrow. Yes, it is cup final tomorrow. It's Sunday tomorrow. Cardiff City versus Wrexham, and they're playing in the cup final tomorrow. So Vincente, morning everyone. How you doing? We are Wrexham. Look at that new hairdo on the man, R. Sheldon. Love it. I love it. I love it. Good to see you, brother. Let me see. Okay. So, do we have any news on our goalkeeper playing in the USA friendly, or is he gone? I don't. Let me finish up with the women's side, and then we can get through the chat, William Bowe. But I do not. But let's see what's going on there. Okay. Steve Dale goes on to say we have been able to find positives against them, meaning Cardiff, and cause them problems. But we know that Sunday has to be a complete performance. We have to be better than what we have been because we've conceded far too many goals against them. They're strong all over the pitch and can change things during the game. And we have to be ready for that and adapt quickly. It's a cup final. League form goes out the window, so anything can happen. Yes, this is a cup, so anything can happen. We can punch them in the mouth. They can figuratively, not figuratively, not really. Punch them in the mouth, and never what can happen. People can cave. Anything can happen. I am not awake yet. I'm still trying to wake up myself. My days. All right. And I didn't even. Well, I went out last night to go see. I can't even think. Fall Guy, which we'll talk about in a bit. John, I see it in there too. I see what you got there. Let's see going on. The start of the game is vital for us. Again, if we go out and do our thing, we've been on the back foot and looked in a little nervy against them on early on. And then you find yourself a goal down within 5 minutes. Momentum goes against you, and everything you've been working for changes really quickly. So I hope that we go out. I hope Steve has his side going out, being on the front foot. Whatever Cardiff's going to be on the front foot because they're the favorite side. So especially with the results that going back to these results here, this one right here. I mean that's. I don't know if you guys can see that 0-3, 1-3, 0-3, 1-6, 1-5. Yeah, so they're feeling like they can do anything against us. So he goes on to say, Steve Dale says, so we managed to get to the final. All preparation is done, and it's important we turn up on the day to bring that trophy back. It's rewards and all the hard work for the players and staff supporters have to put in, and we want to reward the club with the backing they give us. It would mean everything to cap off a brilliant season. Something I want to pull out of there I thought was really interesting too. So if you see, we all the preparation is done. So sometimes if you're studying for a test, or lack of a better word, you have study for a test or something you want to get ready for, or you're doing a show or a play or something like that, you can learn everything, but then you just got to kind of forget it and let it go, and just go play in this sense, or go take the test, things like that. So if the prep is already done, you got to just, you trust the research and everything you've done, all the hard work, and just go out and play. So I think if we just go out and play and we don't get in our heads too much, we have an opportunity to do that. We have some really great players on the team, as you can see here, going down here. Dale also took the time to talk about the couples team award winning the winners, Phoebe Davies and young player Lily Jones. There you go. Great photos there, right there as well. As soon as we had the conversation with Phoebe about trying to get her into Wrexham, we knew exactly what she'd bring to us. Her experience is unbelievable. She had a fantastic career before joining the club. Being a mother as well, she uses that personality trait to help the younger players, which is great. There you go. Lily has the potential to go all the way. Really privileged to have a player like Lily with us. You still have to pinch yourself when you realize that she's only 18 years old. Wow. She's mature and really good head on her shoulders. And she has real credit to her family, the way she conducts herself. She's Wrexham through and through. So we're going to get 110%. The way she's had her upbringing around the clubs like Everton, representing Wales at youth level, you can see the full potential in the Lily. Last time we met, this was the one I was watching earlier. So this is the game I was watching. There you go. There was a great free kick they had too. I think it was the second goal, but this was last time we met. Oh, great save there. This is on the Wrexham website if you guys want to watch it as well. There we go. Ooh, there goes the goal here. Unlucky. Outside of the boot. Bang. Okay. Unlucky. So, okay, that's the game for tomorrow. So this is I believe the manager from the other side. Wrexham have been a good addition to the league, and we've had some great battles with them. But we know that if we play to the levels that we've set so far this season, we're capable of coming away with a positive result. So they're very confident going into it. This is a huge opportunity for us to create a bit of club history. We've never won the domestic treble. So they're up for a treble, Cardiff City, and it's something that we set out to do at the start of the season. We've achieved the first two steps of the fantastic performances all over the course of the campaign, and we will have to produce that same levels on Sunday. So we are going to play spoilers tomorrow. We're absolutely going to play spoilers tomorrow. Here you go, a little bit of history of the Cup. The Welsh Cup, first contested in 1992-93. This is the 30th year of the Welsh Cup. The first two editions were won by Pilkington from Real. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. Real. But since then, the trophy has only ventured north twice. The Bangers' victories in 1997 and 2002. The dominant club has been Cardiff City, ladies, a separate entity, the Cardiff City, who dominated the tournament with winning 8 consecutive titles in the 2000s. Jesus H. However, they are no longer eligible to enter as they are the sole Welsh women's team in English Pyramid. Okay, so here you go. This is the history of the Cup right here. History of the Cup, and I know I'm butchering some of these names. I apologize. There's Wrexham right there. Newey Wrexham, Cardiff Met, Swansea City, canceled. Obviously, that's COVID. Cardiff Met and Brighton Ferry is the last. So that's pretty cool. So this also too right here, the Welsh Cup. This is in the BBC Sport. Cardiff City, which going up to the domestic treble. Wrexham will be appearing in the final for the first time in our history. Cheryl Foster is going to referee it. Cardiff City finished 9 points above second place Swansea City to win the league. Ian Derbyshire's side also beat Swansea in the Adrian Trophy Cup final and looking for a treble. So that's interesting. Okay, so we have a big game tomorrow. And this is, by the way, I don't talk to the women. They're obviously going away with the men. I was doing a little bit more research. All right, let's pull that out here. Okay. Two Beards Wrexham podcast. What's cracking, bro? How you doing, my man? Good to see you in the chat. Awesome. Good to see everyone in the chat. One beard guy in Australia. Yes. William Bowe. Okay. How's the boys? I'm assuming from what I'm hearing, Max is alive. That's all I know. We're talking about the men. Max is still alive. Everyone seems to be okay. But if that's what we're chatting about that. Anyways, so women have a big game tomorrow. I don't think I can watch it. John says I can listen to it, so maybe I'll try to do that. But probably no watch along for it, because if I'm just listening to it, that's just me listening to the radio, which is never fun. But so let's go. Let's support the Wrexham women tomorrow. I just want to look at something for the team. Here is the team. Here's our side. Here's the side. There we go. That's probably the side that's going to go out tomorrow. So over the course of the summer, we can get to know a little bit more of the players here as well. Obviously, Rosie Hughes, Lightfoot, Kara Jones, Lily Jones. So, this is a growing side, and someone we're a team that we're going to have to, learn a little bit more about. But I'm happy to cover it as it's been requested. So happy to do it, and I think it's great. All right. So John said yes. Here we go. Under 18s lost 2-1 Stockport today, finished second. A draw or win would have made them the champions. Yes, so just cover that real quick. And I see it in the chat. I'll get to the chat in a second. Let's see. This is it right here. Sorry. I don't know. I'm just not. This is the report. Stockport County 2-1 Wrexham AFC. Red Dragons suffered defeat in the final game in the league campaign. Unfortunately, they fell a narrow defeat against Stockport County, who are obviously champions in the league, to a late penalty from Harry Ashfield. Wasn't enough to overcome the hosts as Wrexham fell 2-1 defeat. God, that's terrible. But hey, they battled hard to finish second, and let's see. Here's some quotes. All season, we have probably been the underdogs as a brand new group. So it has always been about the development and performances. The first team players are used to play in these high pressure situations. Part of development are games like today. I totally agree with that. This is a development game. Sorry, 1 second. This development team. So you got to like I said, I'd like to know a little bit more about the youth team, T. I want to know if anyone knows who's the up and comers. Talk about that over the summer too, which would be great. He goes on to say the players earned the right to put themselves in this position. We congratulate Preston, who are not only the league winners but also the Youth Alliance Cup winners. They are a strong club who are really established at this level. Hopefully, our players are in more of these battles in the future. In terms of players' character and personalities, it is outstanding. It is an outstanding group of young people, coupled with an outstanding group of staff. It's a really exciting time for us, all of this academy. So, that's you lost 2-1 today against Stockport, unfortunately, but that hopefully to build character. So hopefully tomorrow we can go out and get that dub. So I was looking at the leader here too. Is there anything else in the leader? Not much other news going on today. Just FYI, if anything can happen other than we do know what teams were relegated for the men's side. That's Birmingham next season. It's going to crack. Yeah, bangers only next season. Bangers only next season. Let's see. There are 2 telecasts, Welsh and English. Okay, John, send me it's Rousey. All right, I could pop. It's not on iPhone. If anyone wants to have a little bit of a chat, I can invite open chat for this morning. It's just an open chat, but I wanted to cover the women's side. So yeah, I'm sure that is somebody sending me a link. Let me see here. Yeah, it's John H. Yeah, John said he's watched the ladies. Okay, someone there. Okay, come on. Yeah, no, I'm glad we're going to cover it. Like I said, I don't know too much about the women's side, but I do want to learn a little more about it. So JB65 says, "Good morning, everyone." Yes, good morning, everyone. Two Beards is also in there. I'm a little more active, but Adrian floats around. I'm doing Rousey things right now. What time is it out there, Rouse? What time is it out there? I guess I don't even know. What, you're back? You're ahead, but you're back. So you're like 4, maybe it's 4 a.m.? I'm not sure. I am not sure what time it is out there. Hey, Josh, good morning to everyone. JB65. Mertlin says, if it's not on iPhone, the women's games are sometimes streamed directly on YouTube. Okay, I think that's what John is saying. It's directly on YouTube. So maybe I'll watch that for sure. 11 p.m. 11 p.m. There you go. 100%. This is John again. There you go. 100%. Done. Yes. There you go. All right, so it is on tomorrow. Live English football on YouTube. As he knows, it is. Yeah. There we go. It is on YouTube. We can put the link in the Discord if you're not in the Discord. So thank you, John, for that. Just sent you the link on the YouTube channel. Absolutely. 11 p.m. out there. All right. John, their halftime just starting here. Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest. So tomorrow, there's going to be no game tomorrow. I don't think we're doing Monday, though. We're going to talk about a little bit of a schedule. Send me a link. Send me the link to my Twitter, and I'll come join in 5 minutes. It's right here, brother. There's a link. Pop it in there, Rouse. And anyone else wants to come in too. Just open chat today, open chat. Hola, Stace is in the house. Stace, I saw you in the episodes the other night. If you didn't know, we're going to be watching the Welcome to Wrexham all through the season. We watched the first 2 episodes the other night. It was formal dress. Myself and Ivan and Ken came in. Ken got best dressed though. I had on my suit that I got married in, and Ken had on his daily best. So yes. We're going to be doing that. And I saw Stace the other night in there. In I think it was episode 1, I believe I saw her in there. A couple of people I recognized in there. Obviously, Millie was there. I also recognized, who was it? Obviously, Wayne, things like that. Wayne was there. And one other one I recognized as well. Shoot. Apparently, Fraz was also in it as well. Fraz was there, who's also. League One playoffs today, 2:45 p.m. EST. Oxford, Peterborough. Yeah, I wanted to do that. I committed to the misses. So I committed to the misses. So I would have covered that today, but the missus and I are gonna we got some things we want to do. We're gonna get some pasta. There's a place, really great place in the Palisades up here to go get some pasta. So I'm gonna do that. If it was at like a 7 or like right now, I would have done it. So apologize. But Monday, I was saying on Monday, we are gonna watch both of the matches. It's a Monday, so I think the games are on at 7 and 9:30. So I'll be watching those games. Let me double check here. So that Crew Alexander versus Doncaster Rovers and Crawley Town versus MK Downs. MK Dons. What's wrong with me today? I swear I'm not awake yet. I saw Fall Guy last night. I wasn't out late. Big, dumb, and good looking. High mileage, body damage, mustache. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. Hold on, producer Ann, take it off. All right. See ya. Someone's got to work out here. It's not me. So there you go. Equinox calls. Got to do it. But let me just turn down 1 second right there. I'm going to just turn down the TV over there. 1 second. Hold on. Sheldon's going to come in too. Actually, I'll bring Shell in. Shell, thumbs up when you're ready. Cool. 1 second. Should turn the TV down. 1 second. Go ahead. There you go, man.
Hey guys. Been a while. Oh, my hair's all messy. And Josh is gone, leaving me on my own. So how do we all like the old Birmingham coming down to League One?
How you doing? Yeah, how you? Good to see you, bud. How are you?
Bring me in and just dump me on the screen on my own, huh?
Dude, the music, not the music, the TV was so loud over there. Let me see. It was so loud over there. I was like, no one wants to hear that. I don't know if it was some kind of Bravo stuff like that. But sorry about that. Anyways.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. How you been? How's the new house?
Yeah, good. Finally doing the last bits of unpacking and all this week now. I hope to be able to sit down at the desk and start getting a move on some things I need to build. And maybe some announcements in the near future.
Nice. Well, good. Stace says, yikes, was I swearing? They didn't catch her cussing. I don't know. Did you watch the episodes yet? I don't think I
did. I didn't see it.
Nice. Yeah. Vincente says that Stace
it's
everywhere.
Yeah,
I thought so. Too. So I think to go back to
they went a little bit more into the dressing room.
They did do. Yeah, they did do. Yep. I think they'll probably do more of that. I want to go back and the second episode to me caught me. The photographer. I know we were on the show doing it, but I want to go back and rewatch it. I want to watch a little bit more of that. I thought that was a really interesting story. So yeah.
Yeah, just a nice little tie-in, little add-on.
Yep. Happy May the 4th. I'm ready to welcome to Scouse. Ready for welcome to Scouse. It says Diane to Abella. What? I don't know. What does that mean? Ready for welcome to Scouse. Did something happen? Did they announce a new show? Did I miss that?
No, thanks. I think it's just a joke about teams we'll be playing.
Birmingham go straight back up. Yeah. What do you think about
straight back up?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, they will either go straight back up or they're going to fall apart. But I think they've too much backing. Yes. I expect them to win it, maybe comfortably. Next season, we'll see. Well, as comfortable as things get, it might be 8 points or whatever.
Yeah. So Birmingham, Huddersfield, and Rotherham.
Stranger things have happened though. Teams do fall apart when they get relegated.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah. Scouts is Liverpool. Yeah, I thought so. I just wanted to confirm with Liverpool. I didn't know if they were doing a show because I did see that Manchester United are trying to do some kind of show too, but whatever. But yeah, Birmingham, Huddersfield, Rotherham coming down for us. I don't know what the actual league looks like in a full. I think we'll get into that, but they did you said all 4 teams won today. That were supposed to. Yeah. So. Really interesting. I think the league's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of work. Obviously, we're going to get through the summer. Rather the show keep more focused on the team.
Yeah, that's the welcome to Wrexham. In the more long term, I think it needs to focus a little bit more on the team, the background, the hidden stuff, because that's what the major fans want. But obviously, they have to balance things out a bit with new fans and Americans and stuff like that. So. But Humphrey did say this year is going to have a much bigger emphasis on the back room, back staff, stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. He had a great interview. Obviously, there's a lot of press, EPK stuff, promotion going on. Anything you poked out of there other than the stadium and things like that?
Yeah, you know what? I think that stadium comment was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just a tidbit for the American news. That's all it is. Because obviously they're going to run with it. No one's going to look into anything. That's
Mhm.
not going to happen for 20 years.
Yeah.
The planning applications around the Wrexham Stadium will be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So a new stadium will go up faster. But
Oh, for
again,
sure.
look, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be nice to do it. I don't. 55,000. Hey, be ambitious. I hope something happens. But they're talking about a lot of like red tape they had to get through and things like that, which I found really interesting too. Got it. My friend Aaron James and the under 18s lost today. Yes, 2-1. They lost to Stockport, and AJ was also on the retained list. Birmingham, Marie from SoCal says Birmingham is the club that Tom Brady is presented. Yes, he is. Well, Tommy's going to be coming to the racecourse next year. For sure.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Did you have your say on the
Well, actually,
list? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. There's a bit of a delay. I apologize. Go ahead.
yes, say again. Did
you have your say on the retained and released list? I know in the chat you did, but not on the show.
Nothing surprising, to be honest. Howard, I was never sure of what they were going to do with him. I'm wondering who's going to be the second keeper. Because obviously Howard has kept the second spot at the whole time. So yeah, I guess he's slowing down and the other keeper is getting stronger as things go. So at what point will they switch? And are we comfortable with either of them being the backup keeper?
Right. Do you think Mark was kept for statesman? Like this someone to be, back there talking to be like a little bit older statesman?
Well, I doubt if it was just for that. I think Marcus is comfortable to be a third keeper.
Yeah.
So that's probably the thing. He doesn't need ridiculous money. He's very comfortable with the team. He would be a comfortable enough third keeper, So he's not gonna fight it when they do want to change him from second to third. So he's an easy option for third choice. But my curiosity is definitely who's the second keeper more long term.
Yeah. There you go. How you doing, man? Sorry, we're talking about keepers. Welcome.
Hey, what is going on?
There's a lot of beards here. We both are bearded up. I need a little bit more.
Oh, mate, just a little bit of patience. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of patience to grow a beard. Hey, I remember when I was first growing this thing, and it was just getting itchy as fuck for like weeks on end, but you push through it and it comes good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just still setting up my microphone. So am I coming across all right?
Yeah,
good on me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Wait. Wow, so much has happened. Hey.
We were just kicking the tires. We were talking about the women and talking about the goal. Shell was just talking about the goalkeeper. There you go. So let's just have it a little open. I feel a little naked this week, not having a game on for all
a match.
Match. Yeah.
No, I feel you. We're actually on a 2-week break at the Two Beards podcast, so we're taking 2 weeks off, and it feels very strange. So you're scratching my itch.
Well, go ahead. Scratch away. You Shell was just talking keepers, and you pick up wherever you want.
Oh yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah. Where were we at with that?
All week, so we were just talking the retained list, and I started on the keepers. I said there wasn't really any surprises. Howard, I was never sure whether he would stay or not, but he's not particularly expensive, and I don't think there'll be any issue when he needs to become the third keeper, and he's not a bad third keeper to have. But
they're offering him a new contract. They're offering him a new contract, aren't they? So I take that as they're probably, he knows where his role is on the team. He knows it'll be a backup keeper, and he'll probably play second fiddle to whoever they bring on. I would like to think it's a Conco. I think we need to really go hard for him, but I don't know. If it's not a Conco, who else could it be? I haven't got any names in mind.
There's a few keepers out there we've been talking about.
There's a list, by the way, just for everybody.
Yeah. In the Discord, a couple of names have been floated around. Keepers becoming available at the start of the season. Now this summer.
The question is what quality are they? Are they going to be the same quality as a Conquo or better? You know, it's uncharted territory.
Better. Again, just older, experience.
Yeah. As someone who's
keepers,
followed a lot of League One
are actually underpaid.
It's our defense is going to have to be fucking on it this year or this next season coming. Because
absolutely.
Sorry, am I allowed to swear on this podcast or shall I? Yeah.
I mean, it is swear. Do you think it's all be yourself? You know, I don't know. I don't know what the real rules are. I know, you know, what happens after monetization, all the crap, but I have no idea. So use your own voice. There you go. So I would say, do your thing. I was going to mention though, if you look at the list, by the way, and talking about keepers, I'd love to Okonkwo to stay, obviously, but we lost a lot of defenders. Yeah, Luke Young's a midfielder. We lost fit defenders, so we got to fill that second part of the defense. Like I think we have our line, but we need defenders clearly.
I think
we have 4 defenders released.
Yeah, he's. I know we're going to find people to fill those spots, whether they're going to be better than what we can offer on the field at the moment, or whether they're going to come in as a backup. But it's obviously got to add to the depth. And as much as I love guys like Luke Young, Aaron Hayden, I mean, Aaron Hayden obviously being injured all the time was a massive problem for us. Ben Tozer as well with his long throw, which was an absolute weapon. But I know he sort of started to taper off. I mean, I think these guys where they're at currently, they're not of League One standard, and they're probably the games. I mean, they're getting on in years, and the game's probably starting to pass them by. So I think you know, everyone knew it was going to happen, but did it make it any easier? Fuck no. I'm not going to lie. I was a bit choked up to see Luke Young's name on there, but I think everyone expected it though. So
I think that was like the worst kept secret, right? That was like the worst kept secret that Luke was going to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that last game was his swan song, his goodbye game, and it seemed very much that way.
Yeah, a brand new back line is going to be really interesting because we just about have players we're comfortable for League One, but can we replace them with better? Because we do need a whole row of 4 new defenders, and either they should be coming in at the same level and fighting for a spot, or potentially be even better than what we have, which would be horrible because, well, look, it is what it is. If you get better players, you need them. But like if Max loses his spot because we do get someone in who is just better than him, you know, that'll be horrible for Max. But it is what it is. They have to be of similar level, or they're not League One level, because our back line is good, but they're not amazing. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily top League One. They're going to have to go through a trial of fire and show that they're good enough. So some of them might lose their spots.
It's. I think you got to expect it to be very similar to start. Hopefully not with the same results, but Parky's going to play with the team to find the team that will fit into League One. So the team that we saw finish the season will not necessarily be the same team that makes it into the regular lineup next season. It's just who is going to adapt, because the passing is going to be crisper, the games are going to be faster. If you make any mistakes, you're going to get punished a lot harder for them. It's a whole different level, and the jump from League 2 to League 1 is quite difficult. But that said, it depends who we bring in. If we bring in top core talent, championship side talent, maybe upper end League 1 talent, to fill those spots that are now available, you know, maybe they'll fit into the team more. Or maybe we'll go on another run with the team that we currently have. But it's been made very clear that team, the first 11 that finished, well, bar Luke Young, that finished the season, that will most likely be the team that's put on the field to start. And just see where it goes.
I believe we're in like page 1 of the script for the summer, like what it's going to look like. You know what I mean? Yeah, things are starting to take shape, but like we just turned the page, first page. Now it's like, okay, now we're moving the decks. What's going to put in? So you don't know what it's going to look like, you know. So how is a puzzle piece going to put together? This is one that I don't even know. No offense to Dave, but there's just no chance. There's quite a lot of talk about Jamie Vardy coming over. He's an absolute fire.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
No,
we'd probably more get Alfie May over Jamie Vardy, but I mean, look, Vardy's finishing up his career. He's 37 years old, so he'll be the same age as Fletcher. Mm-hmm. Obviously, great striker. He's played international football, but he's the money he can demand from other clubs, we can't pay or we won't pay.
Yep.
When we can get someone that's going to be with the club for another 2 years, possibly through the championship, you know, I wouldn't be going in for Vardy.
No, that's a bit crazy. Yeah.
There's just no way. I mean, Shelley, I think you were in the chat earlier talking a little bit about it too, but that's just not going to happen. I mean, I think we're good with strikers. We see Shelley. You think Dalby will be there? Or you think he's going to run alone?
Yeah, he's going to be part of the team. Looks like. Yeah.
I think he's getting sold.
Well, we'll wait and see. I hope he does.
That's a great. Sorry to interrupt, Shelley. That's a great thing on what did you say? Like, are we going to sell anybody to make some money? Yeah, we got some things out the books. Can we? Is there anyone we can make some money on? You know, that we want to offload? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Dolby's a sellable player to a League Two team, I reckon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We wouldn't have many, and the fees would probably be very basic for a lot of our players. It would be more about removing them off the books and taking the wage away, so that we could spend it on someone else. But there could be a nominal fee in there, 50 grand, 100 grand, 150, whatever, depending on who they are. And what's needed. But yeah, one or two players more certainly could go during the summer, because if the players are told, look, you're under contract, you're staying for the moment, but you're not going to play, then hopefully you can move them on.
Yeah. Would you sell them, guys? Would you sell them? I would.
Yeah.
Dolby, Waters, and Bickerstaff, I'd probably look at selling to get some funds back in, or maybe to accumulate a decent transfer kitty, because I think that Jamie Vardy comment, it was actually birthed from a Humphrey Carr interview where they put the question to him, you know, would you take Jamie Vardy? And the response was nothing is off the table, right? And I think it's fair to say with Wrexham's recruiting from seasons past is that really nothing is off the table. It could be anyone. I think if we've got a possibility to get a really good player, they're going to most likely put their chips on the table to do that. That's an interesting question, though, from Marie. Who will be the next captain of Wrexham? I like, obviously, Paul Mullen. He's a good leader, but I think it might end up being James McLean.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
He is a leader on the field. He is.
But will it stifle his antics, though?
No, fuck no.
Okay, right, yeah, but then that's my question: is you really shouldn't be putting that on as a captain, though. Then, if you want him to do that, you know what I mean. If you want him to antagonize in the way that he sometimes does, that shouldn't be.
He has a role. So he has a role, but his role is to play antagonist. Oh, great goal by Nottingham Forest. He has a role to like play antagonizer. Someone needs to be the balanced head. But to your point, let me push back on it a little bit. Mullen's not really a calm head either. So I don't know. I would go Gio. I'd go Gio.
Yeah. If you were just looking straight for captain, calm, you know, take care of everything, yeah, probably Gio. But I can see McLean getting it. It was just, I'm just curious, kind of, you know, maybe he's not the right person.
Been captain this year. He's actually been a captain this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I mean, that would be my pick anyway. It'd be between McLean and Mullen. Both of them have been captains. I don't know about George Evans. I mean, he's a great player, but I don't know if he's got that
leadership
captain in him. Yeah. So, I mean, there's been some great shit stirrers of in past times where there have been captains. Believe me, it's good. It kind of spurs your team on because that's what you want when the chips are down. You want someone that's going to stand up and spur the team on, and I just think that's McLean all over. So I expect him to probably take that role.
But do you then expect McLean to be playing as much of a role next season as he did this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
In what position?
Someone with his experience and his fitness at his age. I mean, he's 35 next year.
Yeah.
He's still got it in him. I think we've got at least another year or two of McLean. Whether he'll be championship stuff, but he's easily League One, maybe bottom end championship. So I would expect him to be pretty much in every game this year.
I think that's a position we are a little light at, left wing back. I was just put in there. Left wing back is something that we are definitely. Mendy, I know he's got to have a surgery early. He won't be. I mean, I don't know how long he's out, but like left wing back, because we're covered on the right side. We have good players with Bull and with Barney. Left side, left wing back, I think we're definitely short over there. Will Ambo asked the question too, just real quickly there. Is it speed in League One or just skill? It's both. I mean, you go up a level and any that speed. Yeah, it's bigger, faster, stronger. Yeah.
Well, some teams like your Birmingham typically in the past, I haven't really watched much of them recently, but I know in the past they weren't fast, but they were extremely skillful. So you will have teams that have that skill level that will have that crisp, clean passing that is just able to slice through your midfield. But then you'll have teams that are like blisteringly fast, like
younger
like
teams.
Boltons. Yeah, like they just run you ragged all day long. So there is a bit of disparity though between top end League One and bottom end of League One. I think you'll see that more so once we're in League One rather than what we saw this year, because most of this year there's like 10, 11 points between 3rd and 17th. So a couple of losses and all of a sudden you're well and truly out of playoff contention. But League One is a little bit different. League One, you will have a lot of really good teams up the top, and the difference between them and the lower teams is markedly different, and you'd be expecting to beat the lower teams if you're top end League One.
Yeah, and obviously this is right here: Carlisle, Port Vale, Fleetwood. This is League One right now. Is this right now? This is League One. Portsmouth, Derby. I mean, there's name Charlton, Reading. Shrewsbury, Burton. I mean, there's some teams in there. It's gonna be a very competitive league. Very competitive league.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Birmingham coming down. We've got Birmingham, we've got Rotherham, and we've got Huddersfield.
Yeah.
So they're coming down now. Rotherham's been on a bit of they tend to jump between League One and Championship all the time, but Birmingham, massive side coming down to League One. I don't know who they're going to keep, because typically when teams do go down leagues, players start walking.
Yeah.
But they're a big side, big history, a lot of infrastructure. They'd be set up to pretty much go down, then come straight back up, I reckon. So,
left wing back Owen Beck, currently on loan from LFC to Dundee, but Celtic are after him. That's Raymond Blitz, someone to pick up there? Go ahead. I'll pass the shell.
Pick up, that was in the Discord that he could potentially looking for a loan, but Celtic are looking for him. Again, this is going to be the case all summer. Every player we're after, there's going to be multiple teams looking for him as well. Potentially, this was similar to last January's window. Is all the major players we were after, there were multiple teams looking for him.
This kid right here, Owen Beck.
Oh, that's not happening.
No,
no chance. Yeah.
How's the loan market though?
But this is what we're not using, and Parky doesn't like, is if you were going to sit in a league for a couple of years, this is what you'd be looking at, is taking in some of these youngsters and chancing having them in a position rather than buying in all your players. But because we're pushing so fast and hoping to get as high as possible, potentially going for playoffs, then he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to bring in youngsters. He doesn't want to train them. So we just lose out on those markets.
Someone like Owen Beck, I reckon they'd be going for if it was more. I mean, he's a class player. I think maybe championship. If we get up that end, or if we spend a season consolidating in League One, then we may go after him. But especially, obviously, well, I think he's a Wrexham local as well. But yeah, he's been pretty good for Liverpool under 21s, and I think his dream is to actually play for Liverpool, and I think he's probably pushing on the door to be good enough to start, maybe even on their bench. But I mean, you're looking, like you saw in that transfer market there, that's $1 million. That's what they're recommending. That often they go much more than that. I don't see Wrexham wanting to fork out that much money right away for a player of that caliber.
For a left wing back too, not even I hate to put it like a goal scorer, someone who's going to like really, somebody like 25 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists, 8 yellows. I mean, there's, like you said, $1 million. He play up and down. I mean, that is the type of player for £1 million. I mean, that's at that level for sure. I mean, depending on what the appetite is, but I think that's probably a bridge too far for sure. Yeah.
But you know what though, just at the same time, is if we don't start buying a couple of these players and spending that sort of money, by the time we skip through into the championship, we have none of these players, and then we're buying at championship level, and the prices are going to go up as well. So I'm not saying we have the cash right now or whatever. It's a hard thing to decide, but maybe this year we should be taking 1 or 2 young players and having a real chance on them, because their value is going to go up as well. And if the rest of the team pull them through up into the championship, then immediately they're going to multiply by 5.
Yeah. Is the captain voted by players or signed by Parky? That's it. I think it's
Parky in the team.
I think it's different with different clubs.
Most of them choose.
Most of them the players will choose, but some of them the managers choose. I think Parky consults the players and then makes his decision based on that. Because for quite some time, Luke Young was coming through. He was the only captain, but then they obviously gave it to Ben Tozer and they split the role. So one was first team captain and one was club captain. And maybe they'll do something like that again. I don't know, but I think it's probably something that Parky's done.
Stockport fan says, Stuart, I would say Mullen should be your captain, just like Paddy Madden. A striker, you should prefer center back, a cap. I wanted to bring that up too, not to go back to it, but we moved on a bit. O'Connell, he a shout for it? I mean, what's his mentality? What do you guys think of O'Connell?
Captain. I don't know if he's going to be he's a great defender. I don't know if he's going to be a first team League One defender. He'll most likely start, and they'll see how it goes. But you may find that position changing a little bit next year.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, they've gone 2. We lost 2-1 today. Yeah. No, it's going to be a very interesting summer. I'll reckon our ambition. I will tell you this, whether it's true or not. I think we have an opportunity to go up. Let's see what we spend. Let's see what we bring in. I'd love for them to go this Owen Beck kid. Probably not going to happen. I'd love for them to be the ambition to do it. But the reality is, you never know. But it's going to be a long summer of, just like you said, both of you guys, like, be attracted to everybody. We attracted to who the hell knows Messi. Everybody in the goddamn world is going to want to, God, the Daily Mail is crazy.
It'll be as crazy, insane, I think, as any other transfer period. People will throw around the Wrexham name just to get the Wrexham tax or get the clicks. You say we're already starting to see it. I mean, you guys like your Talk Sports are giving clickbaity titles.
Exactly.
And fucking who else? The Unisport guys as well. They're every post I see from them is about Wrexham. It's just You know, and they actually made. I saw the post that they did up about the Jamie Vardy situation as well. I'm just like, fucking hell, these guys are just doing anything for clicks. So you really got to sift through. A lot of people are going to have their opinions on who we should bring in and all that. But at the end of the day, I think it's you can probably count on one hand, maybe even less than one hand, how many times we've been able to predict someone coming in. Because we never saw McLean coming in, we never saw Evans coming in. Everyone thought that was, we were going to go after someone in League Two, or I can't remember the name of the person that I thought we were going after. Now it's escaped my head, but we ended up getting McLean, which was a hell of a lot better. So you just never know.
Fletch. Also, too, at the same time, like I said, the clickbait stuff. We like the Humphrey interview on TalkSport. I think he was on for like 13 minutes. He said so much good stuff, but they pulled out the one, as you know, like what they're going to do, that is salacious. Like, we're nowhere near. I was like, okay, chill. He said so much other good stuff on that. I was like, no way.
No, he said nowhere near Premiership team.
I just want to interject. Yeah. Sorry, just off topic a little bit here. Stuart Ryan, Stockport fan. I think it's great having, I know if you've listened to our latest podcast, we actually went in a bit on Stockport because of how they were trying to force the rivalry that's not really there. But I think, we've, in my personal experience dealing with some Stockport fans, they've been absolutely amazing to deal with. They're great. They gave us a great run, they got a great game, and they deserve a champions of League Two. So, I think it's great that they've, someone like Stuart can come on here where we were talking about Wrexham and listen to us and be accepting. So, big up Stuart there.
Yeah, he pops in a bunch. He comes in a lot, I think. He definitely is. He's pretty level-headed for sure. Kim says, we'll go back to the Stockport thing real quick. Strikers should never be captains. They should concentrate on scoring goals, and that's it, says Kim. Ooh, shot across the bow.
I don't. Okay, I don't know that I agree with that, actually, because being the focal point of the attack, if he is marshalling the people around him, this is how I want you to attack. You're in the wrong position, you're out of position, or whatever. That just supports his own attack. So, it's kind of like a general who's willing to be in the front line. Right, boys, follow me type scenario. So it's not for everybody. A lot of strikers have been getting the role lately. But yeah, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing.
This is a good one too, Marie from SoCal. And I think I'm right. If you're out of contract 6 months, right? You have 6 months to talk to you. Like if the last 6 months you can talk to another club. Am I making that up, or is that just from
they can go straight away.
Okay,
they can go straight away. It's like as soon as the transfer window's open, they can go. And if they've been officially released, so there was a thing like if you saw, for example, Fleur leaving, right? It says at the end of the season. It's not officially the end of the season. Officially, the end of the season is the day the playoffs are decided and finished. That's the end of the season. So that's when Fleur's going to be leaving. But that's the same thing. The actual season has to end. Like we haven't got Billy Waters in Las Vegas at the moment because he's got to play for Doncaster in the playoffs. So
Doncaster,
we can't recall him until the season's over, and that's just. Yeah, so after the playoffs, that's when you'll start seeing all the names moving about. You'll probably hear about signings, all that sort of stuff.
The 6 months that you mentioned there, I think that comes up where if you're inside the last 6 months of your contract, you are permitted to speak with other teams.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can have conversations. Whereas before that point, you need permission of your club.
Yeah.
To speak with anyone.
Clubs can
officially, of course. There's lots of unofficial channels.
Right. Oh yeah. A lot of what's that stuff? Yeah. Billy. Oh yeah, he's playing on Monday. That's right. I totally forgot that that he's playing on Monday for Doncaster.
Maybe he's playing. He might be on the bench. He's struggled to get into that Doncaster side. So
you brought up Fleur, and I wanted to ask you both about this too. So I don't know the history or whatever about Fleur Robertson. Like, if anyone wants to educate me, why I've heard a couple things, whatever, some salacious, some not. I don't know anything about her. So what is that all about? You both can take it. I have no idea. What's that?
Okay, so I think with Fleur, she was. I didn't ever see her as a good fit for the club. Not from anything like that, but it's just that the club is a very public face. Obviously, with the documentary, social media, everything, like the club is a very, very public place, and she was very private. And she never wanted to have anything to do with the cameras. Didn't want to be in the forefront. She was very much a figure in the background, and I think that's probably not a good fit for what the club actually is. I've heard that she might be going back to. There we go. I heard that she might be going back because her dad has he's leaving fucking what is it, Bolton, I think. And she's going back there. But I think a lot of this comes down to there's been a lot of vitriol, a few questionable decisions. The fan bannings being one of them. I don't know.
The recent ones. The recent ones?
Yeah, the recent ones. I think that was, a lot of that does have to be signed off from her, but I don't know. I think a lot of it's got to go that she wants to go back, and she probably just feels a little bit like a fish out of water now because the club is growing, the notoriety of the club is growing, and she probably doesn't want to be in that limelight anymore. So she's stepping away for her own mental health, which what she should do anyway. If she didn't feel like she was the person to steer the ship forward, the question is who will replace her.
Well,
but now thank you, Ken.
Answered, but not officially, yeah.
Right.
So right from day one, I heard negatives about Fleur before she started. Immediately when she started, months later, it just didn't stop. All the small stories that were coming out about her management style, how she spoke to people, all of this sort of stuff was quite negative about Fleur, and it seems to be just her management style is very, very aggressive. And I've met a lot of female managers like that often feel they have to go a bit overboard to be shown respect, kind of. And that's what it sounds like to me, just from the stories. Now, separate from that is Humphrey is showing signs that he may be stepping down at some point.
I think he wants not in the career back. Yeah,
he wants. Yeah. So if he's starting to talk about it now, it can't be a crazy before it actually happens. So
that's the first I've heard of that.
It was
himself on shows. He's
in the article. Here, I'll bring it up.
He's just speaking about the time it takes. And like he's missing being home and other opportunities, stuff like that. So again, I don't think it's happening this season, but I just find it interesting that he's like dropping the little stones that this could happen in the future. So he's only over 6 months of the year anyway. But if you replace Fleur with a new CEO who is more happy to be in the limelight, to do the interviews, to take on some of the role that Humphrey does with his promotion, that would make sense. And it would make sense for me that this happens over the next year and allows him to step back in some of his duties, if that was the case. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. On that note, just so we could. So he said in here somewhere, he basically said, he's missing out on some opportunity. He said he misses his wife, who's Megan Gantz, who writes for the Mythic Quest. So things like that. So he mentioned it. It's a really good article. If you haven't read that one, check that out. That's in the Independent. I just put it in the chat there for everybody too. But Kim says Fleur pissed a lot of people off. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I think you guys have a perfectly valid point. I do have a little bit of skepticism around these things because I know typically women leaders have gotten a hard rap, but some of them definitely do bring it on themselves, and it's, but I kind of take it with a pinch of salt. But there is a not so pretty picture that's been painted about her, and how much of that is down to actual truth or disgruntled employees and whatnot, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not there. I haven't seen it happen, so it's hard to make a proper judgment call. But I think on a logical perspective, she was not a good fit for the club, given its international notoriety and not wanting to have anything to do with that side of things. And
it's hard.
You can't have the best of both worlds with this club. You got to be all in everything they're doing and backing it, supporting it. And I think she probably just wasn't as comfortable, and she'll end up going back to Burton Albion. So yeah.
The one argument I would have to defend her is that if she was as bad as some of the stories make out, I highly doubt they would have been able to keep that under wraps this whole time, because the Wrexham name gets so many clicks. If somebody really had a big negative story, that would have come out. Because if you want to talk to papers, if you want to get something public, and you mention Wrexham, guaranteed there's a story in it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna throw something against the wall here and see if it sticks. Right.
Go on.
So the fan banning happened. There was a big uproar on social media with a contingent of people, but the fan banning happened.
Yep.
Rob McElhenney retweeted that he's looking into it, and then a week later, Fleur is gone.
Oh wow!
Well, the rumor of her returning to Burton Albion, though, had been there for quite a while. That had been easily 3 months ago. That it had been mentioned that it's very likely she's going to go back in the summer. So that's not a completely new thing. But again, if decisions hadn't been made or whatever, then maybe.
Sorry.
But it seems like a couple of bannings for flares on the pitch would be the straw that broke the camel's back,
Yeah.
This is what you're chatting about here. Of course, it doesn't come up. Here you go. Right?
Yeah. And then a week later.
I don't think that's a very difficult PR nightmare to get around, though. You know what I mean? If you want to, all you do as the club is to come with a statement and say we are absolutely against flares. They're dangerous and whatever. Anybody in the stadium with a flare will be banned for 3 years. End of story. Now we are rescinding the bans for the celebrations on this final day, or whatever. Just out of fairness
and keep
celebration.
The ban.
But we are going to let.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a bit of delay. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit of delay. So, Go ahead.
They have to keep those bans in place because that's law in the UK. But they are extremely. They do make exceptions. I mean, technically, they're not really flares; they're just smoke bombs. So they don't really give off any flame. But like whereas a proper flare does, like if you ever go see some of the Spanish leagues or German leagues, they use legitimate flares. Whereas in England, they're more smoke bombs. They don't give off that. So there is a bit of flexibility around them.
A bit of difference,
big difference. But the problem is that you have too many of them go off. It can cause health risks for other people that might have asthma or breathing issues, maybe lung issues. That it can make things really hard for them. So they try and limit them, but they're not. I don't know. I don't know if they're really classified as flares. So
sometimes like there's games you can't even see anything. This is something that's actually really interesting too. If this was Fleur, because Liam Roberts, is that it? A couple of bloggers.
Liam Roberts,
he got letters about. I mean, he's what, 20 years old. I mean, I don't know what was that her that was leading that charge. Not to pile on him. I just wanted to bring it up for just conversation's sake here. Here we go. Julie Greenwood as well. Not sure who that is. Was one of those. And yep. So I could see that being pissing people off for sure. What else is going on here? The Humphrey Kerr. When he thinks it's time to go, to get an executive who has experience in world football and level up even more. I think just on the Humphrey thing right there, I think no one anticipated it. I think he said this to happen. He said he's kind of living a double life. So, I think you're right. You're planting the seeds now, so you're not surprised a little bit later. So, once they get to like a little bit higher up, this is not the career you want. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me is I never saw Humphrey as a total high executive in the club in regards making all the decisions and stuff like that. For me, it was always about communication with Rob and Ryan, that he is there, he's in the meetings more, he's around the club more, he has longer discussions, and he understands everything that's happening, and then he transfers whatever's needed to Rob and Ryan to give them the understanding so that they can make their side of the decisions. To me, he has always been just a communication conduit, and obviously taking on bigger and bigger roles as he grew into the job and understood it more, and all the high-level meetings and stuff like that. And he said it himself that he knows his limit of knowledge and where he's at. So if you were to take him out, that's what I think would be potentially lacking or missing, is who's going to be that one-on-one conduit that can probably answer the phone at any time needed or whatever, talk for 2 hours because he just happens to have 2 hours free on set or whatever, and just discuss the football. And then when you're finished talking about the football, you just chat about whatever you want to chat because you're friends.
Yeah. Liam Roberts.
The link that I think would be missing.
Yeah. There's a bit of delay there. Responsible for Liam Roberts banned for not filming. Maybe, I'm not sure. I see Mira Rousey. Neil Roberts.
Don't think that's true.
Neil Roberts. We're having
Liam Roberts is. Oh, the interview. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're mixing up here. Liam Roberts talking about the vlogging scandal again. As far as I understood that, what actually happened was there were multiple channels who were filming inside the stadium, but they were releasing clips of the footage before some of the professional stuff was released. So they were getting clips of those highlights out. They were doing highlight videos before the main highlights were released. And as far as I was aware, that was what really annoyed the club and the EFL. Because some of the people who were just kind of filming themselves and using no footage didn't seem to be having any issues at all. So they did come down hard when they did it, and multiple people were affected. And maybe that's something to learn as well, is if you don't want a story to happen, don't hit 5 or 6 different people at the same time. Target one at a time and get each one individually to stop. One this week, speak to them, tell them what they're allowed to do or not allowed to do, with regards to filming, stuff like that. Have a word in their ear would probably be a better way of going about it. A bit more subtlety, especially if they're somewhat known. And what could Liam do? He has a season ticket, season pass. They can remove that at any second if he doesn't do what he's told.
Russ,
yeah, I think with the Liam Roberts thing, so you got to look. I was having a chat with a few people over in Wrexham and sort of knuckling down with it all. And why? Because you see other clubs, they've got vloggers in other clubs and they're still doing their thing. Why is it different for us? I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that we have Welcome to Wrexham. We've got the Disney thing, and Disney are an extremely litigious, strict organization. So they want to control the narrative of the fan. I think they're giving out fan cams now at games. They're doing that sort of thing to develop or give footage to Disney, but Disney want to own the rights to a lot of the footages from those games outside the usual broadcasting. So a lot of that sort of stuff does come from that fact. I think you may see once the documentary's gone. You may see that lighten up a little bit, and people will be allowed to record again and vlog again. I'm in that camp. I think that's got something to do with it. It's the fact that we've got a documentary made by Disney, who are extremely controlling. I mean, geez, I don't have to tell you how many times I've been copyright struck by Disney. A lot. But yeah, it's one of those things that I think that's one of the big drivers behind it, and it's sort of a little bit out of the club's hands. So
I worked at Disney for 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, I worked at Disney for 5 years in production and finance. It's a very, they take it very seriously. So I'm working in production, I know that too. It's like, you need to have to release forms and things like that. If you were going to film, like, do I want to do it at a designated area at the mask? You can't, for lack of a better word, there's two parts of this too. I totally agree with that. I think coming down on them was a little harsh. I don't know who the Greenwood is. I have no idea who that is. But you can't control everything around inside the stadium. You know what I mean? Like, they don't control the turf.
Yeah.
They have you not do things like that. So maybe it was a little harsh inside for sure. But if you're on like the other side of the street and you're filming like a vlog or whatever, they can't come down. I hope they're not doing that. Or even if you're in the turf, they don't own everything, but they probably want release forms, and probably better off not to mess with it. But Disney is harsh. I think so. I used to look at their MSAs and NDAs and so they are very, very harsh, especially when it comes to filming.
Yeah, the Two Beards. Have you seen the Two Beards reviews episodes we do? We've done a couple of movies, but we've done a lot on the episodes of Welcome to Wrexham. Even with me just putting a clip in the video, like standard normal clip, with no sound, and we're talking over the top of it, they were still striking us for that.
Oh wow!
So, but the good thing is that they would always get overturned. We'd have to appeal it, but we were getting strikes left, right, and center just for using a 10-second clip that you could get on YouTube anyway.
That's a great question. Like, because sometimes like we show up YouTube things, it's on YouTube. How do you get the strike? So I don't know. That's I'm really nervous about doing certain things sometimes, but it's very interesting. And I understand it. Most of the time, obviously, you look in the back of YouTube, you can see like copyright. You're copyright restricted in like Russia or something like that, which is weird. But you can put it on anywhere else. I don't know, something that's very, very interesting. So, but everybody's very, I don't know, it's struggling. What else we got going on here? Talking about the smoke bombs. Anything else, like just free chat? I know today's free chat. Like I said, we're just having a good conversation. Anything else that's going on in the last couple of days want to bring up? Obviously talked about the transfers, talk about the women's team, talk about anything. Anything else out there that was scratching the itch for you guys?
Well, Max is still alive.
Yeah, Max is still alive. Yeah, that's what Max is alive. They're not. They just said a picture of it the other day. This morning, I just saw that. Yeah.
What do you think of Humphrey's opinion that 10th would be a good finish next season?
I think it'll be a bloody good finish, but I don't think we're going for 10th. I think no. I don't.
I think that's the realistic, good result. If we end up 10th comfortably, that's a decent season. But he was clearly saying that Rob and Ryan are pushing and want a lot higher, but he's the realistic one who understands how the leagues work and how tough it's going to be with some of the big teams and stuff.
Sorry, Max.
But I like 10th would be a good position.
Sorry, Shell. Confirm Max is alive, just so you know. He's right there. There he is. Go ahead. Sorry. Go
ahead. That was it really. Just obviously pushing for playoffs would be kind of a nice end, because I'm sorry, but top 2 is extremely difficult. Look at our season this year. There was a chance we wouldn't be top 2 on into the last match. So just from that alone, next season is only 2 auto promotions, and then it's playoffs. So realistically,
you could grate cheese on McLean's abs.
Oh, yeah. And he's a machine.
I have to agree, but I know I've said this before. It's going to be very, very hard to predict what's going to happen until we're actually there and playing it. I think aiming for 10th is a bloody good finish and have a consolidation year. And I know Humphrey has also spoken a lot about that. The owners have bigger ambitions. I guarantee you the boys will have bigger ambitions.
I
And
agree.
Parky, you do have to ask the question, are we going up the leagues too fast? Do we need to stop and consolidate? I'm in that camp. But at the same time, I know that the boys are going to want to keep pushing. Parky's going to want to keep pushing. The owners are going to want to keep pushing. So but until we're actually there and we're playing League One and we're seeing how sides are structuring up against us, how we're able to cope and deal with the pressure, playing in some bigger stadiums, I think it's going to be too hard to make a call on that to see where we would probably end up. I think 10th, anything in that 10 bracket is a bloody good year, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is partly why I think they need to maybe start taking a couple of risks with some younger players, bringing them in with talent, maybe spending a bit of cash on the youngsters instead of the old guys. The old guys they can get on free transfer, out of contract and just pay them hefty wages. That's fine. They've been doing that the whole way. But if we don't start taking in a couple of youngsters, we're going to hit that season where we're going to have to buy everybody.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to buy. You don't want to get to that. I think this is me. By the way, Matt's in the chat. We were saying that earlier. You can't predict because there's so much will change over the summer. Yeah, there's so much that's going to change over the summer for sure.
I'll say this. I'll as an interesting thing on the side, and for anyone that's listening as well. It's a lot to go into right now, but have a look at Luton and what they did through their transition through the leagues and how they got through to being in the Premier League. They kept a lot of their core players. I know Elliot Lee came up through a lot of leagues with them as well, but he bowed out after the championship. But go back, have a look at their roster for every year, and look, they always keep a couple of key players to follow them up the leagues, and then they build in those other areas. But you'll notice a lot of similarities between, I think, what they're going to do or what they did and what because they did it. If we follow that similar structure, we could possibly do it.
Mm-hmm.
Luton are I think a perfect case study for us. And I think we're going to go that way as well.
And after today, Ipswich too. Yeah, because to your point, I think Michelle has something to say too. To your point, you don't want to replace a whole team. You need to dot it throughout. You keep the Mullen, you keep the Elliot Lee, who are getting a little bit of age, but you don't want to replace a whole team. You need to keep those core values. Leicester did it a couple of years ago too. Obviously they were in the championship, but you got to see what's the model. There's something that came up right here. I want to say, where is it? The infrastructure. Someone was talking about the infrastructure. Here we go. Wrexham said, Wrexham is presently too slow and too unstructured to finish high in League One. Interesting.
Wait until next year, Kim. Just wait. It's a whole lot different, and I guarantee you, Parky knows what he's doing in that league. He's won more games in that league than any other manager. He's got 2 sides promoted from League One. Just wait till next year. I guarantee you he's got something planned.
I think it's quite good that it's our defense that we need to upgrade. Because that, to me, is the key of Parky's idea. When he's winning a match, he doesn't push for more goals and beating people 5 and 6-0. We've all seen it and been like, oh, God, why are you pulling back and defending? If he comes in now and gets himself a very, very strong defense, and we only need to win matches 1 or 2 by scoring 1 or 2 on other teams, that's what he needs. We don't need an amazingly quick team. We need nice counter football. He's going to do ball if you've got more talented players who can put that on target direct instead of just the hoofball we all hate into space. Then his style could very well work. And that's what he needs, is a very, very strong defense, because the first part of our season this year didn't go very well because our back line didn't and we were conceding far too many goals. And when we got our defensive structure in place and it started to work, that's when we put around, and that's when we started to level off, because we can score. Now, League One, can we score as many? Let's see. But if we don't need to score as many, then that's also acceptable.
Gio and Stash was our downfall. I'll give that one to you, Rouse, from Kim.
The Luton model. Well, I can see how you can say that. I can see how you can say that, but I'm talking about their recruitment and what they. I know they didn't. We've recruited higher players to come down, but I'm talking about the players that stay and follow Luton through. There's a lot of similarities there. Luton obviously have never had the budget that we've got, and we're going to be probably, given that, we'll go up the leagues hopefully a little bit quicker than Luton did, but it's there are similarities.
Yeah. Kellingworth Road, I think they only have like 12,000, 13,000 in there too. I think we're at 12.5 right now.
Yeah.
Grow a little bit too. Maris Bernardo says, will the new players be part of the US and Canada tour this summer? Probably. This is what, depending when they come in.
If fast enough. If they come in fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Simple as that. If we get them early, some of them will go out on the tour, but if they come in too late, then no.
Yeah. The tour is what?
Yeah.
Only a week long, I believe, basically. I think the tour is only a week long. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Anything else there? Okay.
That Canada one is shaping to be pretty big, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Yeah. I thought it would be the one.
I've heard a lot more about the Canada one than any other than the Chelsea game or
the Bournemouth.
Yeah. I've heard more about that than more about the Canada than the other two. So I just think the Canada one's going to be a massive one.
I know. I was they announced the Levi one first. They got that sorted out with Chelsea. And so, I was like, oh, that's going to be the one, because they didn't say anything. It was so late. It's like, why would you wait? So we got our tickets for that. And then we're going to do we'll do something like a tailgate. And then the Canada and the other one announced for Bournemouth. It was like, they all went absolutely apeshit. Looks like it's going to be a good day in Vancouver for everybody. So fun stuff. But the good news about all that, it's only a week. They'll have 2 weeks to get back. As you can see in the opening of the documentary, those guys were tired. They were gassed coming back from that trip last year. Absolutely gassed. So learn from that lesson for sure.
How brutal was some of that footage of Mullen?
I was there. I was literally 30, 40 yards away from him when he got hit. And I was like, oh, that's a bad one. I mean, I was right there. And I didn't realize it. And I think he was like, I can't breathe. He looked terrified. Absolutely terrified.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of fear. When you worry, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal. Just brutal. Yeah. We need a training. Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. And you know what, John? We need that training ground before we go into the championship. I think every single team in the championship has a training ground. And a lot of the top teams, they have a really, really good training facility. So absolutely, before we get to the championship, we need the training ground. No argument there.
Is there what's up with that? I know John makes a great point there too. Are we planned for one? Where is that on the list? I think they're pushing back the COP a little bit. But where is the training ground going to be? Where are we at with that? Does anyone have any idea?
Only what I've heard from the latest that the owners, when they were talking about it, is that they're still trying to figure it out and find a place.
Mm-hmm. About 3 months ago, Humphrey was in an interview and he said that they had finalized it down to about 3 different locations. Mm-hmm. And at the time he said he was going into a fairly high level meeting about it. Now, maybe that was just for the interview, but we've heard absolutely nothing since. But in fairness, I would hope that if once they do it, like 1 season should be enough to have a training ground fully operational. because the majority of it doesn't need buildings. It's one main kind of building area, then it's just a couple of stands, and then it's pitches. So that all of that, once the red tape is done, and that's going to be the problem, like everything else in the UK, the red tape and planning is ridiculous. And once you make your
hold on, sorry, John. Don't blame the government yet. John's on you already before you even had it. That it was already up there. I'm just saying, he already had you.
Yeah, okay. They're slow getting the land. Yeah, that's fine. Now we don't know if the basic plans for any of these have gone in, because you also get the initial planning ideas about it. They tell you what's correct, what's not correct, and then it has to go out to public, and then anybody in the area can make a complaint about what you're doing. And there has to be tension with the public. Why don't you like this? Why don't you want this? And it drags on for months and months anyway. Now, the other thing you can argue about the club is you want to be moving up the leagues fast, and all of this takes time. You need to just take a decision and start moving, and not be looking for the perfect answers for everything. You need to get things moving faster. So you can argue them about that too.
Yeah. COP has spiraled into a training ground. It's about 20 million invested, so it's not going to happen soon. Says Matt. Matt, if you're around, you can pop in. I'm probably going to do it for another half hour for sure. If everyone wants us to stay on, we could do that. Parky wants UK friendly following the tour. That would make sense to me. Let me see here. John says, my thought is much more expensive than they thought. They want 22 acres and double-digit pitches, multiple buildings for the facility. It's a huge, huge plan. Is that room?
I think you look at a good example would be like, look, I come from my previous team that I supported was Coventry. They have a training pitch called the Sky Blue Lodge. It's literally one building and two big, massive training pitches. I mean, you might, if you're able to bring it up on Google, on Google Maps, you'll see what I mean. It's called the Sky Blue Lodge. It literally looks like a hotel with a big, massive playing pitch out the back, but a lot of the training grounds that a lot of these big teams have literally look exactly like that, and it's so they've got everything they need in that one little area. Doesn't need to be anything crazy big, but it's it's decent. Yeah, if you want to bring that up, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's literally one big building.
Is this this is the planning of it, right?
Building.
Am I looking at the right thing? This thing?
Yep, that's the one. Yep, that's literally what it looks like. It looks like almost like a bunch of houses put together, and then a couple of football pitches.
So I get this. Let's bring this up. Okay, yeah.
That'll give you an idea of what I think the club would be going for with regards to a training ground. That I think that would be close to what they're looking for. And this actually is just outside of Coventry, so it's not actually in the city centre where Ricoh Arena is. It's on the outskirts.
Okay, right in the city. Okay, interesting. Let me see if I go back here. Sorry, guys. There is maps. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Map. Oh, of course it doesn't. It's invalid. Awesome.
Lovely.
Lovely. Of course it did. But that's very interesting. I mean, if they're going to do something, well, that's probably the best photo of it. It will come up, but I doubt it. But right here, I don't know if you can see that. That one right there. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, it looks just like, or that's on the outside of it. You can see that there. Okay. I mean, that's all you really need, right? I mean, what else do you need? I mean, it's not like it's, not like it's, I don't know. But that's interesting. John says they need money to get it done without spending their own money or loaning the club again. Yeah, they'll definitely do. Use the Gatorade cash. CP Marks, I'll give it to you guys here. A training ground facility similar to Sunderland's Academy would be a great option with a larger pool for recovery and fitness. Remember, the fitness level of the Champions League is much higher. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But again, this is part of the point of if we want to argue something, say to them, well, why are their plans so big before they have the available cash and before we're up in the championship and levels like that? So a 22-acre ground with all these pitches is too much. Why aren't they just putting 2 pitches and a building? so that they have something, top end pitches, and at least they have a training area that they can get out onto top quality pitches and get their training done. Simple as that. And then that'll do them for the couple of years while they build out, looking for a Fleetwood Town type training ground.
Yeah,
Coolfoot Farm. Yeah.
Is this what it is?
This is what they're talking about doing, similar to this.
This?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they want a version of that.
Wasn't that part of that's the actual sport and leisure complex. So that's I mean it's a training ground, but it also doubles as swimming pools for the public and football places for the public. So that's an actual sport and leisure complex. Yeah. Whereas if you're looking at dedicated training grounds away from prying eyes, then that would be something where I would say the Coventry model. But yeah, that sport big, like we've got a team down here, Fremantle Dockers. They train out of Coburn Arena, which is a big, massive leisure center with gyms and pools and slides and everyone. And just outside they've got the Fremantle Dockers training, and they're a big AFL team. So I guess it's what is going to be suitable for the club, I think, and what they're after. And I think something like that Coventry one would be perfect, but that's my own personal opinion. It's really all the club needs, and at least it's something to build on and get started, but they definitely need it.
Gotcha. 23 acres super big though. What's that? 112 pitches probably. He says Fleetwood Town's training grounds called play. He also says need your academy to women's facilities. They want when all the medical and office facilities, and they want community pitches for the local clubs to use. Yeah.
Yep.
But bang on. John says to Sheldon, because Sheldon that doesn't go towards the PL aspirations, why build 2? Just build 1 the way you want final 1 to be.
Okay, but people can't argue both sides of the coin. You can't argue we want the huge training facilities and then say, oh, but it's taking you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to get it done. You know what I mean? It's like you have to talk about both sides of it. So either you wait for your training facility and you build a massive one. Same talk about stadiums. You wait until you can do something huge, or you don't. And if you don't, you have to make do. And if you make do, you build something to make do, and then you don't complain until you get the next one done.
Or you get it started and just expand on it as it's needed.
Yeah. I kind of feel like something like this that we talk about on the show a little bit too. Like these aren't the sexy things, you go get you have your car, like oil change the brakes. It's like, those are things kind of done behind the scenes. These are things that aren't sexy, but need to get done, and they'll get done over time. And then there's my wife's analogy, producer Ann. She's always like, I only want to buy here to Sheldon against Sheldon thing. If I'm going to buy something, I want to buy something I want. Like, so I'm not going to buy the cheap thing. I'll buy the expensive thing or whatever it is. So it's like buy it once, so you don't have to buy it twice. So there's like two sides there for sure. Like how they're going.
I really like Ramble's comment there. Why build an inferior facility when you can just use Colliers Park for that, like we do now? I mean, that's very similar to what we just showed before. Obviously, with the sport and leisure complex, Colliers Park is a fantastic facility, and I think maybe that's partly the reason why the club doesn't appear to be in any major rush to get their own training facility. I know it's needed, but I mean, when you've got something of the standard of Colliers Park, I mean, they use that for international training. So it's why would you want to go somewhere inferior when you've got that? And I think that's probably why we haven't seen any quick movement with it.
Well, I mean, definitely going to take investment for sure.
Well, then why is everybody complaining that we don't have a training ground? Again, it's the flip side of the coin. Everyone's going mad. We need our own training ground. The training facilities aren't good enough. We have to share facilities. Just use it anytime we want. Blah blah blah, etc. Everyone's moaning, moaning about everything the club's done.
Here's a quick question on that too. You talk about sorry, it's a little bit of breakup there, Shel, and maybe someone knows this. Maybe you were there, Sheldon, for sure. So I was not. You might have been there too, Rossi. Some of the people in town said, "Oh, I saw the team at the gym, are they sharing like a local gym? What is the current
No,
setup?
they have a they actually have a sponsorship from one of the gym chains in Wales.
Yeah.
So obviously it would be a requirement that they go there and do some of their gym work and training. So that would be why, I think. You know, if you got free access to a gym, why not? You know, but yeah, it does go. The whole point of needing a training ground or having a training ground is that you're able to train away from prying eyes, because you do often get spies. You get people that will come into these public ones and watch what you're doing. That is a thing. It does happen. Having your own training ground gives you that privacy, gives you that place where you know you don't have to compete with anyone else for use of a field. That's your field. So that's why I think, you know, there's that need for the training ground. So that's that continuity, that familiarity, all that, you know, privacy. That's why there's that need there. But it's not, I wouldn't see it as like a crazy urgent thing. But yeah.
I'll rip through a few here. I'll pass it back to Sheldon here. Collier's cost the FA of Wales $7 million. John says no need to make two. By according to your aspirations, want Premier League, then build an appropriate ground, but you can't wait until we get there. And then they said we have a built gym in the race course, and then go ahead.
Yes,
it's not very big though.
Yeah, but a basic gym. Yeah. Okay. Now, in fairness, you can't build a Premier League facility before you get there. You know what I mean? People don't have the money for that. Clubs don't have money for that. You don't get the money until you get in the Premier League. So I disagree with what you're saying there. Now, okay, you can turn around and say we got big owners. They should just stump up the cash and maybe they can find it if they want to. But then people complain, oh, loans. You want your money back? You put a loan on the company. How are you charging interest? Like, you know, people will moan about absolutely everything. And I'm getting a little tired of going through every moan that everybody has about every little thing. You know, I'm just constantly going over it. And when you talk about one moan, they'll throw something else at you. You know, and it just goes like we just did. We went around the full circle. So what about this? It goes to this, to this, to this, to this.
I'll tell you something, Sheldon.
You know, and okay, let's
from someone that is English myself, grew up born in the UK, have family that's still in the UK. I can tell you now, and I mean this with the best of hearts. Nobody moans better than people from the UK. Like, that is in their DNA. They're fucking moaners, and that's just what they do. Yeah. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing that culture. It is a culture thing, and it's just what it is. There's nothing wrong with it, but fuck me, they moan a lot.
I lived in Stansted and Luton for many years. I'm well familiar with the footballing attitude, and so, like, people say it to me sometimes when I'm talking. When I go into discussing the negatives of something, and I'm only discussing them, people throw it at me. Why are you so negative? I'm like, this is what football culture is in the UK. You don't sit down and discuss all the great passes and the perfect things that the manager did this week. You find the negative things and you discuss them. That's the way the culture is.
Well, I think that's what it is. Don't tell me how great we are. Tell me what's like. You know, there's a balance. So, you know, we're getting to the summer and things are happening. We're trying to build up and wants to be positive. But Marks makes it. Luton Town made it back to the Premier League with inferior facilities, and they're having a difficult time. Yeah, but you know, it's everyone's going to tell their own story. You know what I mean? So we're in the middle of our story right now. You know, I do like the Luton Town. You know, I do like all those things. Like, we're telling our own story. So, I mean, John, I don't know if that might be a bit harsh, but I'll let him respond to that. But I don't, you know, we'll move on from it. According to the world, Sheldon, you've been hanging around more than all you. Okay, John, come on now.
Yeah, John doesn't like anybody.
Let me get the popcorn.
Like anyone having anything different to himself.
But like, John's not from England; he's from Boston. So I mean, I'm just saying, John's from Boston.
Boston.
CP marks Luton Town made it back to the Premier League with inferior facilities and they're having a difficult time. Yes, but so is Sheffield United. A lot of teams that make that step up when they're not ready for the Premier League, they will come back down, and that's exactly what you're seeing happen. But that's not to say they won't be back there in the next couple year or two. Once they go back down to the Championship rebuild, Luton they are building a new stadium, so they are trying to set themselves up better for Premier League. But that's you're basically seeing what happens when you go up and you're not ready for it. You get stomped. But Sheffield United, big massive club, Meadow Lane, they've gone up and they're finishing bottom of the Premier League. So
most teams who go up through the playoffs have a very difficult time staying up in general, unless they have been in the playoffs for a couple of years and they've finally broken through, because they're often not ready. If you go up in your first or second try in the playoffs, you're often not ready, especially if you were fifth or sixth in the league that season when you just happen to have a good run of form in the playoffs and make your way up. It's extremely difficult, and the gulf between the Premier League and the Championship is getting wider and wider. It's becoming more and more difficult to stay in the Premier League when you come up from Championship. It really is.
John, you guys can have that conversation off. Fair play. Everyone has a right to say what they want, for sure. Absolutely. But let's park that for now. But John, you're correct. You can say whatever you want. I get it. Sheldon, everyone has an opinion. I get it. Everyone has to have it. Awesome. So, let's move on from that. Luton has a club with $20 million, but we hear you. Luton has a $20 million budget against the teams with $240 million players. Yeah, exactly, for sure. But Racecourse says John's right. We need one. The owners know this. It's an attraction for players too. He's talking about the if you have a good one, but don't expect it soon. Worry about the cop for now. I'd say that's what Matt's saying.
Yeah, absolutely, because you do need. I think the smallest Premier League side has a stadium that will seat about 15,000. So I do agree with Racecourse Ramble on that one. We need that cop built. We need it sorted, cemented, started. Then that way we can at least get the revenue from the extra seats to help us moving forward. But as far as Luton, club with $20 million budget playing against teams of $240 million. So you're talking about the top six or the big six, I like to refer to them as. There are a lot of very rich clubs, but I think with the Premier League, there is a massive disparity. Massive disparity between obviously the big six and the rest of the table. The Premier League is a very, very strange league. I'm more of a fan of the Championship League than the Premier League.
I think the Championship. By the way, City just kicked off with Wolves. Let's see. I actually think the Championship is one of the best leagues in the world. Will Ambo says, when will all the foreign people realize this sport is called soccer?
Fucking football. It's fucking football. You kick the fucking ball with your feet. You don't use your hands, anything like that. It's football. There we go.
Go watch.
He knew that was coming. He knew that was coming.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Go watch. I interviewed the Sheffield FC guys down there talking about football and opening up, so they talk about that too. But it's good debate, good chat. I like it. It's a lot of fun. And, people get spirited, and I'm all for that. So it's awesome. But it is football. But in America, called soccer. But someone brought it up last night. Why is the soccer aid called Soccer Aid? So someone asked that too, because it's in the UK. Can someone answer that one?
Originally, it was I think it was a tournament that was held by American consortium.
Okay.
So, and worldwide, I will concede worldwide. Even in Australia, a lot of people call it soccer. I refuse to call it soccer, but a lot of places worldwide, it is referred to that. So I think, to make that appeal towards the American side of things, and that's why it was brought on as Soccer Aid. Yeah. No. Yeah. I could be wrong, but that's what I roughly know about it. So
one of my good buddies, Gilles Marini, played in Soccer 8, scored against Steve, and he chipped him. Go down to your local sporting goods store and ask them for a football. See what they bring you. Oh, they're gonna bring you up. They're gonna bring you up football for sure. Yes. Racecourse says yes. Championship is a great league, but it's an absolute money pit. Average clubs is about $400K per week. That's a lot of burn, my friend. American football should be called run ball or catch ball. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Yes,
Pigskin ball.
Yeah, ball. Yep, it's just skin. Yes, I agree with Sheffield United comments. Look how long Sunderland's had struggled, even with impressive fan base, impressive facilities, and very poor upper management and bad ownership. That's recruitment too. It's recruitment, things like that for sure. I love the league. I love the league. Sorry, go ahead, guys. That was coming. Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about American football. How about them Twins? Go ahead.
What have we started? What have we fucking started? Oh my gosh!
Right here. Well, I am Bo. Just rinse this off. Sorry, Sean.
Oh dear. No, I was going to say, talking about once we get a bit higher, once we are not potentially fighting monetarily with the other teams because they have the money to fire back, hopefully the name Wrexham, will be a driver that people want to come to the team. Now, maybe the positioning in North Wales may not be the perfect position to try and get people to come to. But if we're still driving with the fan base and everything surrounding Wrexham, that could be a driver for players to come to us.
There was very interesting. I don't know if you heard of the TalkSport. This is what I was saying. There's so much that Humphrey talked about on the TalkSport interview that was so much more, valuable than just we're not ready for the Prem or whatever he said on there exactly.
Yeah.
But he said, it was pub chat, him and Rob, because they work together, him and his wife. And he's like, oh, what team would you buy? Oh, and then you do an analysis and you break it down they have growing fan base. He broke it down. He had 5 or 10 things that he broke down. But the fan base, the people are traveling, going from, it's close to Liverpool, things like that. All those things I thought were really, really why they came to Wrexham, and Wrexham came on top. So I thought that was really interesting, about the club and how they got there.
Yeah, I think let's go Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't follow American football very much. There was a period of time I followed the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
But I don't really follow American football very much. It's not really a game I have a lot of understanding about. I prefer just the proper football.
I did too. I like it here though, because our games that we watch, they're on. My game is 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. And then if I want to do something at 10, all my friends when we were younger, 10 to the Sundays are just gone. 10 to midnight, they're watching football all day long. So it's that's why I like America. Just football, football. Kim says depends on if Wrexham becomes a driver on television, probably internationally. The game's not documenting. I think it's getting a global. I think it's getting a global for sure.
I mean, outside of the big 6, like your Manchester United's, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, those guys. The name of the team that everyone knows is Wrexham. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of it. There are big teams, but it's a team that everyone knows worldwide. So I think they're probably already there. Mm-hmm. Being as well known as they are, but it's going to take a lot more than that to definitely get up. But I will say this: strap yourself in and hold the fuck on, because it's going to get wild.
Oh yeah, for sure. Saints boo, and Kim says American football is about 3 hours standing around, 12 minutes of action. That's true. Yeah. All right, I gotta jump because I have some commitments I have to take care of. But this is fun to have you guys on. And as I was gonna do, I told the missus, I was like, I'll do a 15-minute show. And then 2 hours later, it's gotta get wild. How much will EFL payment incentives increase going from League 2 to League 1?
Significantly. I think it's 1.5 million or something. It's a lot. especially with the new deal, it's even more. So it'll be a considerable jump. But yeah, it's 20-1 here in the morning, so I definitely got to get some sleep.
All right.
But no, I appreciate you having me on.
You're always welcome. Love to have you on. Sheldon's here all the time too as well, and he's doing work, so you're always welcome. Just message me, and if you want to do something together, we can maybe put something up. That'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun to do.
Sounds like a plan. Well, I'm heading off, guys. So
cheers.
Peace out.
All right. Have a great day. Good to see you.
See you, Rouse.
Bye, Rouse.
Catch you next time.
All right, man. Yeah, good to see you, Shell. I'm happy about the news about the new spot. Any last words? Or what do you got planned coming up? I think you guys are talking about doing stuff. What are you thinking?
Big announcements to come is all I can say. I need to get some serious work done this week.
Good, man. All right, good.
Then we can talk and see when to announce.
Awesome.
So I'll leave that with you.
All right, keep us posted, and there you go. All right, Shell. What?
We'll include a name change again.
Oh, name change. Well, they only expect the best from Shell at name change. All right, man. We will catch up.
See the view from my balcony?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, hold on. Let me bring you up.
Do you want to see the view from my balcony? Let's see. Can I switch to back camera? Hang on. How do I do this audio? Crap.
Hold on.
Camera.
Oh,
hang on. Camera. I can't edit it on this. I can't change my camera. Here, let me turn it around.
All right. Hey, new courtyard. That'll be. What time is it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
8 o'clock in the evening.
And it's still light out like that.
Oh yeah, it's summertime here, so we'll have light till like 11 at night.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because our winters get very, very dark. So.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Awesome. Well, good. Congrats on a new place, man, and keep us posted. Obviously, we'll chat. You know, we always chat. So yeah. We'll talk soon. All right, brother. Talk soon.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. All right, that's Sheldon. Had Rousey on. Racecourse was in the chat as well. John, Kim, Marie from SoCal, everybody that came around today. John Hampton, William Bowe, John H, Joe, CP Marks. Awesome. Fun stuff. Again, original content was unfinished business. The women are playing in the Cup Final tomorrow against Cardiff City. It's going to be a big lift. But, you know, I would never. Oh, Holland's got a penalty here. Of course they do. Fucking City. Yeah, big game tomorrow for them. Hopefully the women can pull it off. So we'll keep an eye on that. So we'll talk about that. And he gets scores. We'll talk about that tomorrow and other things that will come up with the news and updates. And then Monday we are doing both playoff games. Both playoff games. Those are in the morning. I think it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Crew Alexander, and then 9:30. Crew Alexander versus Doncaster, and Crawley Town versus MK Dons. I'm actually interested in the Doncaster Crew game. That's the one I'm actually looking forward to on my end. But awesome. Says Marie from SoCal. Thank you. Thanks for the chat. Absolutely. Smash a like on the video before you get out. Share with everybody. We're going on our way to 1,000 subs. We are on our way. So we're just army crawling up there to 1,000. So we're really thank you all for everyone and your support and everything. Get your memberships as well for the local content membership. Also, yes, we do have incoming stuff ourselves, which is really cool. But yes, lots happening. Peace and love, John. John, good man and good chat. Good to have you in and. Always available. And thank you so much for everyone that contributed to the chat and to the channel, of course. So have a great Saturday. And on that bombshell, I will see you all later.